Okay, so we are here at the Vaal race course. Obviously, we're getting to know the apprentices behind the scenes, and these are the upcoming stars that we need to take note of. And one man that has really burst onto the scene is Luke Ferraris, and we all know him. Of course, he rode his Grade 1 winner the other day, which feels just the other day, in the form of Ronnie's Candy in the same silks that he is wearing at the moment. And Luke, thanks very much for the time. I know that there's a few guys out there that want to get to know the apprentices, where you came through the ranks, how you came onto the scene, and tell us a little bit about Luke Ferraris. How did you get into racing? Obviously, we know that it's something that runs in your family, it's steep in tradition, but where did you suddenly decide that you wanted to be a jockey?
It's always been in the back of my mind since a little boy, and yeah, since being back in Hong Kong with Dad, going to the track every morning, it sort of just became a routine, and then when I came of age, it became reality.
And obviously racing's big out in Hong Kong. It was great to meet up with your family at the Equus Awards, where you were given Champion Apprentice. Now, Luke, getting there, not easy. I know we can all sit and watch on TV, see that you're riding winner after winner. But what goes into it behind the scenes? Is it a mind thing? Is it something that you've got to get up every morning? Does it get to you sometimes?
Yeah, I think it's all added together, and it's long, hard yards, a lot of air miles, flying up and down, early hours, a lot of riding, and it does get to you. But I think with me, if the more winners I ride, the more energy I get, and so it's just about riding winners.
And now we go back to your very first ride. If memory serves me correct, many people were talking about it. Luke Ferraris, good to have him on the scenes. Good to see that he has finally put on some jockey silks. From then to riding your first grade winner, of course, in the form of Ronnie's Candy. Take us through those emotions.
Yeah, sure. It was quite a long road, but yeah, it was a very prosperous road, and I've learned a lot since then, and continue to learn as I go along. Just grateful for all the people that have come through my path and stuff, little information that I've been able to gather from the greats, from working with my grandfather, having a father like mine always on the phone after races to me, and for riding for Mr. Gray, riding Ronnie's Candy was my first Grade 2, and then my first Grade 1 was for Mr. Snaith, and that was obviously a huge, it was just a huge milestone in my career, which I'm very grateful for. It was for two people that I really look up to, it was the Snaith yard and for Mr. Johnson, who I've always had great respect for, and then working for Mr. Terry and working with Mr. Terry, it's a huge advantage, in my favour, because I get to work with someone of that stature, and just sit there and soak up all the learning and information that gets thrown my way.
Now, you've obviously got a great teacher behind the scenes. We know we've spoken about Uncle Ormond, your dad, but Mr. Moore as well. He's played a big part in getting you guys to where you need to be, and it's not easy. I know that going back to the academy sometimes can be draining. It's like going back to school when we're all once upon a time there. Mr. Moore, he's played a big part in your life, hasn't he?
Yeah, Mr. Moore's always been there to make sure that the start doesn't get too messy, or he's always kept my P's and Q's in check, and without them behind us, it sort of really does fall apart. So huge thanks must go to them. They really do for a lot for us, and yeah, without them we wouldn't be here.
Luke, before we do wrap up, final question: where do we see you 2020? What is the dreams, the ambitions? Where do you see yourself from a year from now?
Sure, probably just taking it meeting by meeting, riding as many winners as I can, hoping to get into some of the graded races, and then see where it goes from there.
As always, great to be catching up with you from the Tellytrack team, all the punters out there. We certainly wish you all the best and continue doing what you do best, and that's riding winners.
Thank you, thanks.
Okay. I know.